official while he was still running. He showed up at those events and worked hard for me. Matter of fact, he pumped beer in the rain. So what can I tell you as a candidate? Chris has worked awfully hard with the Riverkeeper program, but he's worked awfully hard with the citizens. We brought him some problems on water quality issues coming into the lagoon within his first 2 weeks in office. And all I'm going to tell you is that there's a wonderful project that's blooming right now, and a lot of good stuff's happening, and there's more that's going to be happening. And he has an awful lot to do with it. So my hat's off to Chris, and I'm sorry I didn't say that before he came up here.
So with that said, let me introduce our county commissioner and one of the strongest river warriors in our group, Mr. Chris Dzadovsky.
I'm glad my family could make it today. Hey, it's really good to see you all here today. It's a little warm out there, we know that, but this fight is heating up as well. You may have noticed in this election that those who have fought for the river have won. That being Ed Fielding and Sarah Hurd in Martin County, who are very strong advocates for what's happening in Martin County. You also see that Peter O'Brien in Indian River County also has been re-elected without opposition. And just to tell you that because I mentioned two of those three, I also sit on the 5-county collaborative. That was a brainchild of Ed Fielding to try and bring elected officials together along the entire 156 miles of the lagoon. Now, why is that important? Well, you know, every elected official has their own little space in the world that they have to fight for. But in our case, we have a 156-mile lagoon that is all of our fight. You see it right here. It's very beautiful, and we are the centerpiece, St. Lucie County, of the Indian River Lagoon. So it's important that we come together and fight collectively to push our elected officials at the state and federal level to help us with the funding and the projects to get completed. I brought a little visual for you. When 6 years ago, before I ever got elected, oh, my Joe Vanna White. Before I got elected, I was always concerned about the waterways and so on and so forth. Back in 1984, I became a diver, and then in '94, I became a dive instructor. And I came up here in '94 when the waters went terribly bad. And I actually came up here to steal all the scuba divers to come to Key Largo to my dive shop. Well, when I got up here and I saw the waters going south, I thought, oh my God, there's something have to be done. Well, I spent 28 years with U.S. Airways as a flight attendant and traveled the world. But I could have retired anywhere in the world, but I chose St. Lucie County for a reason. And that lagoon and that ocean is the reason. So that's why I came here. Thank you. In the 6 years that I have been in office, my second day, I called the City Works, the Public Works Director in for a meeting. And I called in George Jones, and we sat down and we said, what are our problems in St. Lucie County? Well, the first one was the Virginia Corridor Stormwater Basin. 3,200 homes drain into the Virginia Corridor, end up going underneath Sable Palm, behind the Heathcote Botanical Gardens, and then dumps into the lagoon and or the savannas. Well, it was raised to my attention that old weirs were not working. They were bypassing, so water was just being dumped into the lagoon unabated. So on my second day in office, I contacted Public Works Director Don West, and I said, we have to do something. Well, at the time, the city and the county had already engaged in a partnership to buy the properties along Savannah Road behind the Heathcote property. And so what George was talking about is now called the Indian Hills Stormwater Treatment Area and Recreation Area. And these projects that you see here are all stormwater projects that are going on in St. Lucie County right now. And just to give you an idea, the San Lucia Plaza, we just permitted and are working on the engineering. The Harmony Heights projects, 222 acres. Paradise Park, 177 acres. We are in phases 2 and 3. We have 3 more phases to finish there. Sunland Gardens, that is complete. We have Platts Creek Mitigation, which is actually being increased in size to 103 acres. The Indian River Estates is over 768 acres. That is a huge project to take stormwater out of the system. We have canals F and G, we have Melville Road, and we also have Citrus and Sager Avenues to the south, 45 acres. So St. Lucie County is really engaged in dealing with stormwater and stormwater treatment areas. But what I'm asking for you to do today is to support me in my fight to bring the 2010 FDEP, Florida Department of Environmental Protection, Stormwater Rule Draft to fruition this next legislative season. That rulemaking has been in place by 38 different people who were part of the technical team, everything from developers to scientists to engineers and so on and so forth. Those documents are complete. They're complete, but they were not implemented since 2010. What happened in, I better not go that way. I got to try and be, in 2010, things changed in this state. We were moving forward with creating the opportunity to take care of stormwater with all new developments. County government, state government cannot retrofit itself out of the devastation that stormwater causes. This water right now, you're hearing that, oh, there's no discharges coming out of Lake Okeechobee. Well, the C-23 and the C-24, and you can see them on this map if you come up and take a look at it. The C-23 and the C-24 are now being backfed to the C-25, and it is being dumped into this inlet, into this lagoon. And why is that? Only because Fort Pierce has 2-a-day flushes that takes that stuff out to the ocean. Well, just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not devastating our seagrasses and so on and so forth. Just to the south of or just to the north of North Bridge is one of the greatest seagrass beds that still exists today. If we don't take care of that now, it will not be available to continue to try and keep the rest of the estuary coming back. We need your help. We need the FDEP 2010 draft to go into effect this next legislative season. It doesn't cost taxpayers a dime. It's been paid for. It's been complete. It just hasn't been implemented. I need your help. Contact your elected officials locally, at the state level. Get them to do that. Now, I brought some. They told me I only had 6 hours to talk, so I better hurry. Hi, Michelle. Here is the Indian Hills Stormwater Project. You can see some of the elevations, and so I'm going to leave them on the table here for you today. And then right now, we also have a project that has begun, and our next speaker will probably talk a little bit about it because he was here whenever it started the original process. We all know that muck, basically legacy fertilizers and organic materials, comes down these canals and ends up in our lagoon. Well, the Taylor Creek restoration dredging process started about 7 years ago. Well, we are now getting to almost the end of that project. And if you go up to behind the Publix here on North Beach, or the north side of the US 1, if you go behind there, there's a canal. And what they're doing is they're dredging that final piece. And they're doing a hydraulic dredge, which actually sucks the material up. Not the bucket dredge where you see all the turbidity and all that muck just ends up going all everywhere. This is a more expensive process, but it works better. We're taking that muck out of the system so that the legacy fertilizers or legacy nutrients will be removed. It has never been done in St. Lucie County. It is being done right now. And here are some of the documents that show you how the process works. As a matter of fact, I have been so adamant about turbidity that I went up there Friday, and they're only seeing a 1.2 turbidity rating when they can legally, under current rules, go to 29. That'll give you an idea how stringent this process is going. This is also a document from South Florida Water Management District that gives you the St. Lucie Estuary watershed and tells you a little bit about everything that's going on. So I'm going to leave it over here at the table, and I want you to take a look at it and get a handle on it. And once and for all, I'm getting the hook. The boss is coming. Once and for all, I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you and everyone that you know who's helping us fight this fight. I can't do this alone. I can't do it alone from an elected position with other elected officials next to me. I need 1 vote, 2 votes to make 3 votes. I need 3 out of 5 votes to make anything happen in the county commission. I can assure you that the state legislatures need that push and that demand that they do the right thing in the state of Florida and implement the regulations that are important for water quality. That has to happen. It has to happen. I need your help. Thank you so much for helping us. And don't get me all emotional. But don't make me cry. Jane, you know, Kevin was talking about some of his idols and people that came before him, and you know, Jane Brooks. You may have gone out to the beach, and you've been John Brooks Park and Jane Brooks Park. Well, Jane Brooks, I got to meet, and she was hellfire. And you know, she was an environmentalist, and she knew everything there was to know about every plant on this island and in St. Lucie County. But there are those who've come before us. I can only hope to stand on their shoulders and do what's right for you. Thank you so much.